Okay.
Hello, it's teacher Miss Cece, and today I'm very happy to have Eric Fink again, global interviewer and senior consultant at iTutorGroup. We're mainly focusing on the pros and cons as the global interviewer for iTutorGroup. So, which part of the job do you enjoy the most?
The biggest thing I enjoy about the job the most is getting to meet and connect with people across the world, because one thing about iTutorGroup is that, if you speak English fluently and if you have a degree, they pretty much, depending that you do well in your interview and they decide to hire you, they'll hire you. Like a lot of companies only will hire people from America or Canada or the UK, but like I have friends all over the world that work at iTutor, and I've interviewed people all over the world, places like Romania,
Right.
Thailand, Taiwan. I interviewed one person in China once. I wondered if they were an iTutor student at one point, when they interviewed, but I didn't ask them. We interview, iTutor interviews people across the world, so I get to meet all kinds of people across the world.
Right, that's interesting, right? I do know a lot of other platforms limit hiring in North America, right?
Yes, that is true. I think yeah, there's a number of them that are that way. But iTutorGroup, they will hire you. They'll globally hire across the world.
So you get to meet friends all over.
Yes, definitely.
Yes, and are you interested in culture?
Oh, definitely. I love culture. I mean, I actually live in the United States, and I've lived there my entire life. But I have a desire to eventually travel throughout the world and even move to another country. I did that once in Korea for about a year or so.
Oh, right, that was interesting. Yes.
Yeah.
Wow.
So yeah, I definitely enjoy learning about different cultures and different things. I think I guess we're going a little bit off the interviewing, but I'll just mention, sometimes, my biggest thing I love about culture, I'll be honest, is the food, mostly because I did, in high school, I thought I was going to be a chef, actually. So I did some training to be a chef. I even took a few culinary classes in college when I realized working in a restaurant wasn't for me. But I'm still interested in the food, and one of the frustrating things is lessons when I get a lesson about culture or a country and they don't put anything about food, and it's like, how can you not mention the food, because food is a big part of any culture.
Oh, right. So here's a tip for everyone if you're a foodie. When you talk to Eric, here's another topic that you can explore together and share. And have you ever talked about these topics with your interviewees?
Not so much on the interviewees, more in the classes. Like the interviewees, there's not a lot of time to go into those kinds of discussions. So,
right.
Like I said in another video, they're only 11 minutes long, so it's pretty much we stick strict to the interview. I mean, if we had more time, maybe I'd go into food topics like, what are your favorite Chinese dishes? Maybe that's someone I could ask at some point if I feel like we have some extra time. But but I know a lot of the kids, if you mention you like a Chinese dish, if nothing else, just say you like dumplings in your class, because almost every student I've ever taught loves dumplings.
Right. But you know what? If I were to form the rapport with you at the beginning of the interview, let's say if you were to ask me why I want to work for iTutorGroup, I can include my interest in, say, travel, culture, and food, and want to meet people and talk about these topics.
Yeah, that would be a good way to. Yeah,
that would be a great way to connect with the interviewer.
Yeah, definitely.
Yes. Now, what about the cons?
The biggest con of being an interviewer, I mean, I'll be honest, I've even told my supervisor that I have that I work with as an interviewer, like if I got offered a salary position just to do interviewers, I would jump all over that and just not teach, and I do like teaching, don't get me wrong, but if I could do that, that would be great,
Right.
But one of the biggest cons I find is that, I'd say there's two big cons: just not knowing who you are going to interview with, because like I'd say 95% of people I interview with, they're very pleasant, they're very nice, but then less than 5%, like I said in another video, they can be some people can be rude and they don't understand. The iTutor will look at that, oh, you were rude to the person interviewing, and then the chances are they're not going to get the job if they're rude at me.
Could be anxiety as well.
Yeah, could be.
Like I said, my natural reaction is to use my smile to cover up, right?
Yeah. And then the second biggest con that I find with interviewing, and this is why I wouldn't do it full time at iTutorGroup is that, like with the pay, you only get paid if the person shows up and we do the mock. So that can be
Right,
frustrating.
right.
It's like, and I'd say a large amount of people don't show up for their interview, and then like, I wait there, and unfortunately I don't get paid for it. So it's kind of and
Right.
I hate bringing up pay as a con, to be honest with you, but
Right, but it's very similar. It's very real. It's similar to a lot of the self-employment, right?
yeah,
If you get a job done, then you get paid, right? Let's
yeah,
say if
definitely.
you're meeting a person for a sales call, and if your prospect is not showing up, that connection is just not there for the transaction either,
Yeah,
right?
definitely. Yeah, I mean, I guess that
Yes.
makes sense when you put it that way, definitely. But
Right. Well, I guess next time we're going to focus on some of the tips and, the main thing or core advice that you want to give us for
okay, yeah, that
acquiring.
definitely sounds good. Okay, well, we'll see you next time.
See you next time. Bye.
Bye.